Rather, 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 rather. Oh yeah, rather, 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 rather,
This podcast ain't big enough for the two of us.
rather, 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 rather,
I dare say. We have room for one more.
rather, rather.
Yep. It's time for another episode of the super family friendly podcast.
Rather, 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 rather.
And I forgot Pony. Damn it. We're gonna have to start over again from
Rather,
scratch.
rather, 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 rather,
Okay.
rather, 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 rather. Welcome to the blah 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 blah. Welcome to the rather. This is rather, and this other guy is rather, and I am rather.
In translation, I'm Devar, he's Madhog, and today we have a special guest with us called SC2 Nightmare.
Whom has been a darling in complete silence, waiting for our insanity to stop momentarily.
Yes.
Say hi to the
Greetings.
say hi to the folks at home. I'm about to say.
Hi, folks at home.
Rather. SC2 Nightmare. He's the guy who post the links to my videos on Reddit, so he's an important part of the machine. Of the family. I mean to say the family. The friendly family of friendly podcasting.
Yes, because we're all family here.
Yes. We're all a happy family. We're all equal. Nobody's more important than the other.
You're running that equal sign so deep it's going to be in a big hay pile that no one's gonna find.
We are one. Like in Village of the Damned. So.
Anyway, this episode, what was it called
Yes,
again?
this episode, Appleloosa's Most Wanted. We return to the fair city of Appleloosa after 5 seasons, more or less. And, the first time we went to Appaloosa, it's a highly controversial episode.
Yeah.
It's regarded at least as controversial, but I like it because I think I still think today it's really funny.
I thought it was funny as well, actually.
Yes.
Don't see why it'd be controversial, really.
Because for the whole portrayal of Native Americans, for once.
Well,
And,
at least
Those were buffaloes, totally different.
Yes.
Well, at least it's not Tex Avery's style of what he thinks Indians are.
But the thing about Tex Avery, he was working like 70 something years ago. So at the time, what we consider politically correct was not yet ingrained in a society with deeply imbued in racism. So even if you were not racist per se, you had anyway a social conscience that would allow you to basically make fun of ethnic stereotypes without actually repercussion and be socially acceptable. So basically what I'm saying, it's been 70 something years, and now what was okay back then, it's not really okay, all that much okay nowadays. Or at least it shouldn't be. Am I right, Johnny Depp? Face.
Yes, that face. So
I'm never letting that one go.
I think no one lets it go.
They shouldn't. It's like World War II. You cannot forget it. You shouldn't forget it. Otherwise, we cannot learn from our mistake. And especially speaking of mistakes, now this episode here that we're supposed to talk about,
Yes.
We returned to the city of Appaloosa after 5 seasons, and I wish I could say it was just as fun as the first one. It isn't.
Not really, no.
No.
Well, that's a bit harsh on me to say, because it was okay for an episode. Nothing too terrible. It was harmless.
It was not really bad. It was just not very enjoyable.
Well, here's the thing. This episode would have been perfectly serviceable and acceptable in either season 1 or 2, but season 5 established itself to be tonally and thematically radically different from what we've been used before as of now, and it showed a level of writing that was quite on a different scale. So having this episode in this season makes it stick up like a sore thumb more than it would usually do. Especially if you think yes.
To be fair, this episode wouldn't have worked in an earlier season because it was very much reliant on the fact that the CMC learned that cutie mark doesn't define who you are.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yes, and a good point to actually point out that this is a Cutie Mark Crusaders episode.
Also, it would be also an interesting thing to point out. This is another Zecora episode, basically. Well, whereas everyone thinks that someone is like this because it's is different from everyone else, but then a child comes along and tells you, "No, you were wrong all along, you stupid adults."
Actually, the same child.
Yes, exactly. I was being free children. In fact, you know what? This thing about the cutie mark does not defy you is you who define the cutie mark. You know, it's. I find it a bit hard to believe that in 20-something years that this guy, the guy whom is simply known as Trouble Shoes in this episode, has been alive. Nobody, not even him, were able to figure out that basically his cutie mark does not mean he is unlucky. But when 3 random children come along and they immediately figure out, hey, that's it. That's what really means. You were born to be a clown rodeo. A rodeo clown, or a clown rodeo clown. Clown. That's
exactly the problem I have with this episode.
That's one of the problems.
His special talent. His special talent is having bad luck.
Well, at least that's what he thinks. You know what?
No, it really is. He's making the others laugh, but they laugh at him.
Yes,
all the time, and they will keep doing that for the rest of his life.
So he can only be a rodeo clown. It's a good thing he likes being a rodeo clown. Imagine being stuck for the rest of your life with a cutie mark that tells that you are a complete farce, and you have to live with that by doing one job that you don't even like. Imagine if that happened. Imagine if this show had actually the guts to address that instead of going with the easy cop-out finale in which
everyone is born with the talents that they will like, sort of deal.
The more we explore the nature of cutie marks, the more I find it hard to believe that everyone will be perfectly happy with their own special talent or job, life, occupation.
Yeah, I think a couple of episodes ago, Applebloom was starting to ask the question: what if she gets a cutie mark that she won't be happy with?
We did have a sort of satisfying resolution for that episode. But if you're going to pursue that theme, which I think they're actually going to in every CMC episode at least,
yeah,
they should try not to be so lame. Your Nightmare, your input?
Input on this.
So what did you think of the character Trouble Shoes?
He's really tall.
Yes,
that's the only thing that defines him, though.
Okay. The guy is the pony equivalent of Marmaduke. He's too big for this or that. He's so klutzy.
And here I thought you were going to say Andre the Giant for a second.
Why would they say Andre the Giant?
Because he's a giant pony.
Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. I think the guy is about as tall as Celestia.
Probably.
It's possibly.
He's twice as big as Applejack.
Yes, quite.
Then again, Celestia is like triple the size.
Celestia, she's like the princess of the sun and a thousands-years-old alicorn. This guy has had one abnormal growth spurt.
But other than that, his personality is pretty cookie cookie cutter is what I meant to say.
He reminds me of a character from G1's My Little Pony.
Who was that?
It was also a character who had a lot of bad luck, exactly like this guy, and he was miserable because of a bad luck, and he was really emo about it. And his name was Who Be Gone.
Oh.
Who Be Gone. And that episode made me go nuts. because Nightmare, on occasion I do some vlogs detailing my impressions of classic G1's My Little Pony episodes.
I remember.
Yes, so I reviewed that episode and it made me go off the wall insane because of how much tedious it was. Tedious. Kind of like this episode, it made me groan a little bit.
I just left.
Mostly because I could tell from the beginning what was the outcome to this episode. Of course, the CMC were going to find the guy. Of course, they were going to befriend him. Of course, they were going to tell him, "Hey, you shouldn't. You should try to do this to improve your life and all that." And of course, the guy was going to try that and be happy, and everyone was going to.
Cutie Mark Crusaders. Career life planners.
I'm surprised they didn't get a cutie mark for that, actually.
Yeah,
consider how wise they are now in understanding what one's cutie mark really can do for your life. Okay, I like the idea. Okay, so to continue the theme that was established in the
gloom.
In the gloom
yes,
episode.
In Doom.
In the Doom and Gloom and Bloom episode. Yes, it is not the cutie mark that defines the pony, it's the pony that defines the cutie mark, which means if you have a talent that basically states that like in this case, have to have bad luck for the rest of your life. That does not mean you can't use that to your advantage. You can basically turn that talent, that weakness, that seems to be your fate, into a strength that improves your character. That's a good life lesson, I want to say. The problem,
it is.
Yes,
I
it is.
I would have liked if they picked something different, like, for example, lockpicking.
If
someone's talent would be lockpicking,
yes.
He could either be a burglar or someone who makes very secure locks.
The rider ponies from Fallout Equestria get some interesting cutie marks. One has a bleeding piece of meat, some other has a hook, which means that they are good at riding, at least, or raiding. But back on topic, what I find depressing about this episode is the way they went about it. It's the execution. First of all, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, of course, have to be the one to immediately guess, hey, maybe his talent has to do with make other people's happy by laughing at him. But what if he did not want it to be a clown rodeo? Because who wants to be a rodeo clown? It's like the most
dangerous job in the world.
Humiliating job in the world. Judging from his background, he really wanted to do some regular rodeo activities that involve skill and talent and ropes. But no, because of his bad luck, he can only be a rodeo clown. I'm sure glad he's happy in being a rodeo clown.
So readily.
So readily. Imagine if he wasn't. And this feels like a cop-out because it wraps itself a bit too tight in, a bit too easily, even though the episode itself establishes that he wanted to do some actual rodeoing, and the fact that he has a bad luck as a special talent does not automatically mean he would be good at making people laugh. Maybe he would make everyone else miserable. So the fact that the CMC were actually able to guess he would be good at rodeo clowning, so to speak. I'm saying clown and rodeo so many times. That was just complete luck. it doesn't feel like a rewarding outcome in that regard. Not that you would care about that to begin with, because Trouble Shoes is not a really interesting or engaging character in any facet of imagination.
Also, I swear, says certain lines one too many times in this episode, more than any regular.
Just my luck.
Yes, it seems like a cliche of a character now at this rate, because I've seen so many characters with terrible luck, and they always say the same lines of like saying, "Oh, just my luck."
Yes, I think they were going for that
a bit
specifically. It's annoying.
It's a bit too much, in my opinion. If he said it just once or twice, it would have been fine.
You know, I would have loved if the guy was actually a hardened criminal and the entire episode was going to turn into a hostage situation.
Yes.
You're not going to take me alive, Sheriff.
And then Applejack comes in and basically beats him up. And the CMC would learn an important life lesson of not wandering in the dark and gloomy forest at night when you can get killed by everything, you stupid children.
Yes.
Speaking of the forest, where did the forest come from?
I think it's supposed to be...
They are in the middle of a desert.
I think it's supposed to be the apple orchard, but I could be wrong.
Then Brayburn has to do some serious cleaning up.
Yes, Brayburn. Brayburn was the best part of this episode.
Yes, to say that he was injured.
Yes, he was injured the whole time, and he was also the worst babysitter ever. And I think Applejack might have smacked him up off screen at some point.
Yes, she hoof slapped him.
Oh man, Brayburn. You know, Brayburn. This will not surprise you in the slightest, but according to the fandom, Brayburn is the most prone to gay shipping.
Well, of course. Who wouldn't after Brokeback Mountain?
Yes, I think that was too obvious. Okay, so
to be honest, it's a typical trope now with cowboys gay.
Well, it has been ever since the Village People ruined cowboy for everyone.
And Indians and workmen and literally every
policeman, right?
Young man.
Yes, policemen, sailors.
I say young man.
Because every job has been gayed up by YMCA.
YMCA.
Which I'm not complaining about, but still.
Anyway, what did we enjoy from this episode, if anything at all?
Well, that's a bit of a difficult one because there was just small bits that I liked, really, like, that just got a small laugh out of me. Not a big one, but, I enjoyed it nevertheless, and I liked the fact I'm trying to also keep on seeing if I can see the common theme that I notice coming up, but at the same time, it's like...
Pancakes?
No, I've noticed a common theme where basically...
Well, there is a common theme with the adult ponies episodes, and as of now, there is a common theme with the children's episodes.
Well, I noticed that the overall one was acceptance.
Well, it is growth and change and dealing with the change, and which leads to acceptance.
A part of me wants to say that the whole concept of the acceptance in this episode is that Troubleshoes had to accept that
he reaches self-acceptance.
Yeah, self-acceptance, that his job wasn't going to be what he thought it was, but the fact he gets to still be a part of it is a plus for him. But at the same time,
since it's never actually fully addressed or explored the fact that he has to give up on a dream, because the second he gets to be a rodeo clown, he's super happy and it's everything he's ever wanted. So
well, he said he wanted to entertain the people.
Yeah, so that conflict kind of
a bit too
under
the rug.
One thing is to accept the fact that you basically good at something that might not be what you initially wanted it to be, and you learn to accept that, but you're not fully happy. You need time to have that change really become part of you. And another thing is being instantly okay with everything and instantly happy, and because three children told you could be good at being a rodeo clown, it feels a bit.
Jeez, when you say it out loud, it sounds pretty stupid.
Oh, the CMC. And
Though I will say, there's actually one point in this episode I really, really liked a lot.
which is?
The ending of the episode.
Ooh, burn!
No, actually, seriously, it was the ending of the episode, just because there was an extra lesson thrown in, but it wasn't so, bash down your throat, so to speak. It was the concept that basically the Cutie Mark Crusaders were lamenting that they didn't get their cutie marks to show off when they got home, but then Applejack pipes in saying that basically you help someone realize their talent, so
Okay.
isn't that a lot more
Now-
meaningful?
Okay, now I am afraid that every episode with the CMC are going to be them helping fully grown ponies, fully adult ponies with already their cutie marks, realize that they got it all wrong all along, which is kind of what the adult main six should be doing, with their own castle shenanigans related adventures that we are yet to see.
I'm still disappointed about that. We haven't got
I
to the
hope not.
possibility.
I hope not. I really hope not. It's about time these girls get their own freaking talent, and this.
Funny thing about that is they already know themselves what their talents are.
Okay, honestly, I had to hope against hope that since it has been 5 seasons since that episode that nobody likes,
I liked it.
that almost nobody likes, in which it is revealed, hey, it is hinted heavily, as in like a giant rock launched by Mod Pie, landing on your head, kind of heavily hinted that they have very specific talents. I sure hope that when it is time for them to actually find their talents, they are not going to be those, because it will be so ridiculous. It'll be ridiculous.
Think about it. In the Bloom and Gloom episode, what was Sweetie Belle doing when she got her cutie mark in her dream?
I know.
She was about to sing.
I know.
Scooter was about to make a stunt, and
I know.
they already know themselves.
I know, and that's what makes it even more painful. This has been going on for 5 years.
Oh, 5 years I never noticed that my cutie mark was meant to be that I was a sandwich at some point. So I drank the soda from the soup that I had ready in the cupboard, but the cupboard ate my couch.
What?
Okay. Rather.
Sorry, I don't know what happened to me there.
Rather.
Anyway, back to this episode.
So the best we can hope for in the eventuality in which those fillies will finally get those butt brands.
Yes, they'll hit
will be-
puberty.
Yes, we know. The cutie. Okay, so honestly, I think those cutie marks are starting to become a device for the writers to be whatever they want it to be. So it's a metaphor for puberty. No, it's a metaphor for social branding. No, it's a metaphor for I don't know, book cover. Don't judge the book from your. Yeah, like I said, this is another Zecora episode, basically. Except instead of Zecora, which is a character that we like, there is this guy who's down on his luck, and instead of one feelie pointing out the obvious for the adults, there are three feelies pointing out the obvious for the adults.
It takes three, baby. It takes three, baby.
So yes, I'm sorry to say this because, like I said, I usually really like Dave Polsky as a writer. Even his most criticized episodes, I think they're actually brilliant and misunderstood. For example, the almost universally dismissed episode Daring Don't, which everybody hates for the fact that Daring Do is no longer a metafictional character, but merely a fictional character like everyone else.
I like that.
Yes, I think
would have been nice if they have had kept her. What did you call it? Metafictional character?
Yes, as in a fictional character within a fiction inside the fictional world.
I didn't mind that so much.
Well, here's the thing. From a continuity standpoint, it might seem depressing, but from a thematic standpoint, that episode is really solid because what is that episode about? From a metaphorical standpoint. Well, for once, it's making fun of the fandom, obviously, but more
of fandom in general.
Yes, fandoms in general, but with a more focus on this one because obvious reasons. But on a more introspective level, it's actually a commentary about suspension of disbelief, catharsis, and audiences' relationships with fiction and products of entertainment. You know, the moment in which the main six actually are watching the events transpiring inside Daring Do's hut from outside through the window, that is like them watching TV. The window from which they are watching the event transpiring inside Daring Do's hut is a
Without thinking about doing anything.
Now, yes, here's the thing. Traditionally, in the language of cinema, a window represents the screen.
Or the soul.
No, the screen, as in the screen of which that is the window to.
I know. I was just to mess with you, just to be more, philosophical.
Yes. So this is something that harkens back to genre noir filmmaking. It is really ingrained with the language of cinema. And when you translate it into this TV episode, when you have the main six looking at Daring Do inside his hut, dealing with the bad guys through the window, it's like us watching an episode on TV. And the line between reality and fiction gets so blurry because of suspension of disbelief. So that is why that episode is actually brilliant to me. And that's why I want to defend Dave Polsky as a writer. But in this case, this episode is just a complete dud. As in, this Appleloosa's Most Wanted episode is a complete dud.
Yeah. As I said before, it's not great, but it's not the worst episode yet. I mean,
it's not, but so far it's the worst episode in season 5.
Just because it's like a downhill from what we had experienced thus far.
Yes, because so far season 5 has been quite fantastic, and I liked every episode.
Well, I guess we already had to have one at some point.
Yes, yes.
That's a thing in life.
Yeah, it's a kind of, Matt, you always want the best for the things you enjoy.
Yeah, I know. But think of it this way. In the next few weeks, when we're talking about more awesome episodes, this one will just get, swept under the rug like it didn't exist.
Pretty much. So, SC2 Night.
By the way, there's no episode next week.
What? Really?
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 Well, what a coincidence. Next week I'm out anyway. Off to the future.
It was your doing.
Off to the Future Film Festival in Bologna, and so that means I won't miss any new episode.
Yes, it was you all along.
Yes, it was my evil plan, because if I cannot watch an episode, then nobody can. It was my decision, and my decision was made by me, because it was mine and mine alone to.
That's it. I'm gonna get my giant sword and hit you with it.
to deprive everyone of this episode, because if I'm not gonna see the episode, then nobody can, and if nobody can, then I will. Then also me, I won't, and I won't see the episode because I chose not to, because I made it so, and I did this because I'm evil, I am bad, I am Mojo Jojo.
That's it. I'm gonna get my overly large sword and fight you. Fight me.
Begin the commencation of Operation eliminate episode for this week, because of my great plan to eliminate episode of this week plan.
Yes.
May it be that you have been watching Powerpuff Girls.
I binge watched the entire series.
Yep, he did.
I did. I have the full season 1 set right now, which was miraculously available in the PAL region. And yes, oh boy.
Anyway, this has been going on for too long, so any final thoughts?
I have to say this.
Yeah?
I want people to acknowledge this.
Yeah?
I watched every single bit of media that's currently available under the brand of Powerpuff Girls. I watched the complete 6 seasons long show, the 2 pilots broadcast on Cartoon, the original unaired pilot by Craig McCracken made in 1992, which I reviewed, by the way.
Yeah.
The awful Christmas special with the worst Santa Claus I've ever seen in my life. The 2008 special, which was great. The 2014 special, which was underwhelming. And the 2002 movie, which is pure concentrated awesomeness. By the way, it's no, seriously, go watch that film, Devar. It's beautiful. It's the best thing ever. It's like Avengers for cartoons. It's,
okay.
It captures, encapsulates, and summarizes everything that's good and great about that show in 1 hour and 11 minutes of excellency. And Mojo Jojo is in this film is at his most believable and threatening as he's ever been.
All right.
Excellent.
Seriously, it's fantastic. Oh man, it's such a great film.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Powerpuff Girls Z and basically ruined my life. Because
you ruined your reality.
Only for completion's sake at this point. Only for completion's sake.
Yeah, you gotta get that platinum trophy, yeah?
Platinum trophy.
Yeah, you know, PlayStation 3 achievements.
Achievement. That is so funny, I forgot how to laugh.
Anyway, we've been wasting 10 minutes talking about other things other than this episode. So, any final thoughts before we?
Yes, Nightmare. Give us your final thoughts. You hardly had any speaking line.
One thing I would like to mention before my final thoughts. In the episode, the part where they broke. What was his name? It's again. Trouble Shoes out of jail.
Which was ridiculous, by the way, thank you.
And overly complicated for no reason.
Why did Sweetie Belle have to hover the keys outside if they get the sheriff to leave?
That's a good question.
I actually was thinking that as well.
I mean, other than showing that she has been practicing magic.
Yes, it has no purpose whatsoever other than just showing off that she's become slightly better at levitation magic.
Yes, and just
it was really cute. Her expression on her face and and everything was really cute.
And then Sweetie Belle hugged her.
Toy, but
it was
pointless.
It was pointless, especially since they just break in and tell, "Hey, Sheriff, you're missing this event. Go watch it right now," and leave us completely alone with this supposed dangerous criminal that could, I don't know, that seems strong enough to actually break free on his own if he wanted.
Well, he broke several beds.
Just my luck. Yeah, it's. Honestly,
was
if we don't see him ever again, I can only be so happy.
Yes, it will just
I
be
wouldn't
our
care
luck.
to see him again or not.
It's just our luck to watch this episode.
Okay, so I was initially happy that we came back to Appaloosa after 5 seasons. But now I wish they never came back to Appaloosa.
Okay, I would have hoped that we get to meet what was the little buffalo's name?
Oh yeah, Little Strongheart. Whatever happened to her? For that matter, whatever happened to the Buffalo tribe?
They stampeded onwards into the sea.
Yes, with the sunset.
It's very obvious because I mean the buffalo were in the flashback in the background of Trouble Shoes,
Yes,
which
should have been like 20 years ago or something.
20 years ago today.
Unless the guy had grown up so big in less than 1 year.
Which is not possible.
Oh, I hope not.
Jeez, that would be like a Robin Williams style of growing up too fast.
Even faster than that. Also, please don't mention that film. Ugh. Oh,
That's
was,
my job to mention awful films.
I thought that was my job. You took my job.
Actually, no, you are a better job at that since you told me about the zombie ass toilet.
Oh yes,
I don't want to know.
Zombie ass Toilet of the Dead. Oh, we're going. Okay, at the Future Film Festival this year, there's going to be another film by the same director of Zombie ass Toilet of the Dead. It's titled. Okay, I believe it has something to do with a female Power Ranger warrior that wears a bear suit or something like that.
Is it Nicolas Cage gender bent in a bear suit?
Hopefully not. No, it's like something in Lolita Bear or something like that.
Lolita Bear?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I do not want to search for it on the internet.
No.
But there was a film that he did a couple of years ago that was actually very entertaining. It was titled Mad Sushi, and it's about undead, evil possessed sushi that eat people.
I'm starting to see a common theme with this guy.
And it was actually kind of hilarious, very scatological, but also kind of fun because it had variety. Unlike Zombie Ass, it wasn't just 1 hour and a half of fart jokes with butt drills, as in drills out of human butts.
I don't want to know.
And now you know, anyway.
Anyway, we've disturbed the My Little Pony fandom. Thank you.
Family-friendly pony podcast, everybody. Give it up for SC2 Nightmare. Yay! And half of the time we talk about things that have nothing to do with ponies.
Yes,
so
or the episode for that matter.
That I decided
That
has
might
become
be because the episode was so
Forgettable.
Yes, also
Right.
This is becoming a common theme, actually.
Except for that closing line that I took away from it. That's all I took away from it. Just the fact that they could go back home with the memories and things that were more meaningful.
Memories, yay! So the memories of this episode will haunt them.
I think we can call it quits here now.
Yeah.
We can quit our luck here.
Trouble shoes.
May I have a final thought?
Yes, go ahead, SC.
Schadenfreude ist die schönste Freude.
What does that mean?
You know the Schadenfreude.
I don't know personally.
It's the kind of joy you feel when others are in misery.
Oh.
You mean Glee? That's what I feel when others are in misery.
As far as I know, English does not have a word for it. And the rest was Schadenfreude is the best joy.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I can see where that went. Uh,
Well, comedy is based off misery,
yes, and misery loves company.
and company is a lonely individual
Yes,
and needs more friends.
a company of one.
The party of one.
And a sad clown. Just a sad clown.
So, okay, this has been the family-friendly pony podcast. The
Super
depression-
optimistic.
The depressed edition. And this has been SC2, STS ABC2 Nightmare. A more intuitive name you couldn't find, I guess. And also, yes, also for an avatar, he has that guy from Soul Edge, Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur.
Right. From Soul Calibur 2.
Yes,
Nightmare.
Nightmare. Yes.
SC2. Nightmare.
Hence Nightmare. Hence the name Nightmare, because somebody might think, oh, because you like ponies, then it's Nightmare Moon automatically. because apparently, people who like My Little Pony apparently don't like anything else in the world. because that's how it works apparently.
It's not the show that defines you, it's you that defines the show.
And unfortunately, that's more true than you might think. But anyway,
You turned to Marge then for a second.
Rather.
Bye.
See you later.
Rather.
See you later, cowboy.
Perhaps you wanted to say, "See you, space cowboy." Huh?
Yes, I see what you
Cowboy
did there.
Bebop.
Good night,
Okay,
all.
then.
Take care.
Yes.